Hello, hello everyone. It's me, Arden Lee. I am back today with another video. And in today's video, I want to talk about the power of taking a leap forward and committing to a path, whether that's your healing, your growth, your self-improvement, even your business. I'm not a business coach, but anything that involves a transformation of some kind, an intention that you want to set, and being able to say, I commit to this path, I'm going to make a forward movement on it, and I'm going to accept all of the support that comes to me from the universe. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Virgil, my cat, is in the background over there. Would you like to come say hi? No, not today? All right. So before I jump into that topic, of course, as always, I would love to invite you to subscribe to my channel. I love to talk about things like self-improvement, personal growth, hacking our beliefs, and reframing our mindsets from that power of creative freedom, from that place of sovereignty, in order to call in more abundance and fulfillment and all the good kind of things that we want to see in our lives, all the achievement of our goals and whatever, being able to create whatever is really going to fulfill us. So if that sounds like something that you're into, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let me know how these talks are hitting you. Let me know what is useful to you, and leave a comment if you have something, a special request that you'd like to see me speak on. And if I feel like I've got something smart to say about it, I will be happy to go ahead and make that video. So do leave me your comments. I love seeing everyone's reactions. So and thank you guys for following along. So today, in today's video, what I want to talk about is this incredible kind of serendipity and universal support that I've seen in countless cases start to come through the moment that someone says, I'm going to take a leap and I'm going to commit to a path. I no longer am in alignment with the way that I've been doing things. I want to make a change, and I'm going to set my intention, and I'm going to move forward. And you might not even know what that looks like yet. In fact, I would argue that it's pretty unlikely that you would know what it looks like, because if you could know what it looked like, you'd be there already. When we make that first jump, that first step of faith, oftentimes we're doing it blindly. We're walking into the darkness. We may have some idea of what we want on the other side of it, but we're not, if we could really picture what that final result would look like, then we would probably be there already. As I said, if we could know what it was, it would be so much easier for us to embody, right? But so often the reason that we're stuck is because we're not seeing all of the possibilities that we're not allowing ourselves. We're not seeing all the things that we're unconsciously blocking ourselves from, all the things that we're not giving ourselves permission to have, to allow, to embody, to be, to become. So when we take that first step, it's okay if all we have is an intention. And for me, this came out of a relationship that I ended about 3 years ago. I had been, on and off in this very passionate, tempestuous affair, not like an extramarital affair, but a relationship that was never quite committed, but that nonetheless seemed to keep drawing me and my partner back in a sort of weird, cruel twist of fate. He never referred to me as his girlfriend when we were together, but then we split up and he started referring to me as his ex, and I was like, really? So you can kind of get, from that thin slice of information, you can probably extrapolate a lot about what that relationship was like. And as I came out of that relationship, I had this sense, I knew that things were messed up because I had started speaking about myself in a way that really conveyed a lack of self-esteem and a lack of self-worth. And a couple of my friends pointed that out to me, and they were like, Arden, the thing that you just said about yourself, the language you just used, shows how deeply your partner has poisoned your own mind against you. And I thought about that for a while. And then I decided they were right. I listened to myself. I listened to the words I was using. I was so intent on calculating how to keep the relationship that I wasn't even conscious of the things that I was saying about myself in the meantime. So that gives you a little bit of a picture of kind of what was going on at that stage in my life for me. And so moving out of that, if I couldn't even see how bad I had let things become, I couldn't see at that time how different things could possibly be going forward. I didn't see where, it's like I didn't see the discrepancy between the relationship that I was fighting for, that I thought I wanted, and what a relationship would look like if I was really honored and valued and cherished. I kept thinking, like, I don't understand why I'm not being honored and valued and cherished, because I'm doing so much for you. I'm so good at loving you and being generous to you and being kind to you. So what's wrong here? I kept having to advocate for my own self-worth in the relationship, and I couldn't see, where the difference was, that if I was in a relationship where that wasn't the case, where I was actually being valued, then I wouldn't have to be fighting to prove it so hard, right? But at that time, all I knew was that if I had let things get so bad that I was talking down about myself the way that my friends sort of called me out for doing, all I knew was that something was bad and I had to change things. So I set an intention. I said, whatever is going on, whatever's, clearly I've let things get to a point where I'm not even aware how bad I've let things get. It's kind of like that, metaphor about the frog in the pot of boiling water. If you throw a frog in a pot of boiling water, it'll jump out. But if you put a frog in a pot of water and slowly bring it to a boil, it won't notice that the water is getting hotter until it's too late and it's dead. It's kind of a sad metaphor, but I think you get the point. So when I committed, all I said, I stated an intention, and I said, all right, universe, like, just send me the right person, teach me whatever I need to know. I'm willing to give up everything. At that point, I felt like I didn't really have a lot left anyway. And all of my old ways of being were slowly, it was like early 2016. And I'm like, I'm really still teaching pickup in 2016. Like, this is silly. For those of you who don't know, I used to be a pickup artist. I wrote a book called The New Rules of Attraction. I'm kind of, I'm still proud of the work that I did back then, but like, there's reasons that we evolve forward. Like, I no longer need to be thinking about, like, how to go out and seduce or attract a partner. I need to start thinking about what do I need to solve within myself so that I'm actually attracted to the right people. So as I took this leap, all I can say about that is that there were just multitudes of instances and synchronicities and things that came together for me and aligned in perfect harmony to show me all of the things that I needed to work on. And so many incidents where just immediately, just breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough. And the only thing that I can attribute it to is the fact that I set an intention, I took a leap forward, and I was willing to commit to a path. At that point in time, I didn't even sign up for a program. I didn't even sign up for a coach. I think it wasn't until halfway through 2016 that I started working with the coach that I work with now. And already before then, things had already been unfolding, and certainly working with a coach gave me added support. But what's especially cool now is I'm also getting to witness people who, under my facilitation now, are also committing to taking bold leaps and are getting just incredible things happening for them. What's really fun for me is I love watching, like, following the Facebook posts of my students and my clients, whether they're, people who took my 8-week online course, the Repatterning Project, or a couple people who attended my retreat for women called Witch Haven. Those are two things that I do. If you're interested, just reach out or look me up on Facebook or whatever, and you can find out about them. But watching their Facebook updates and just all of a sudden seeing their language change, seeing their thoughts change, seeing their beliefs change, and seeing all this cool stuff come in for them. So I'll give you one example, and I want to at some point, write a longer thing about her journey. She's given me permission to share some of the details of her story. But I was at the retreat I was leading just a couple weeks ago. I had a woman there who was participating who said that she was worried that she had lost her calling. She's like, I feel like I've lost my calling. And I was like, bro, you may have lost an avenue to but your calling never, you can't lose your calling. That's like losing your heart, you know, that's like losing your soul. Whatever your calling is within you. You may have thought that the avenue toward manifesting your calling was one way, and that path may have been cut off. That path may have been shown to you to not be the way forward. But that doesn't mean that you've lost your calling. And she specifically wanted to pursue acting, and she felt like she had done it for a long time. She had gotten a lot of really good work, and then in the last couple of years things really slowed down. And she went through some personal stuff too. Went through some financial losses as a result of some relationships, if I'm remembering correctly. And then we had this retreat together, and I don't even know, man, like I'm not even the person, like I'm not even, I'm just the vessel. I'm just creating the container where all of this can happen, essentially. Everyone is doing their own work and their own commitment for themselves. Like it's necessary for them that they step up and they make that intention, and they take that forward movement. So I'm not even taking credit for this, but what I did do is I provided her the container to make that commitment to herself to move forward and to start looking at her intentions and to receive the guidance that she received that weekend. And I don't know how this happened, but she wrote me a couple days after the retreat ended, and she was like, I just got offered a role in a film. And I was like, what? I was like, that's wild. That's just, that's just crazy. It's wonderful. And also at this point, I shouldn't be surprised, because that happens all the time when we set our intentions. And there's been other people who have written back to me and been like, oh my gosh, I'm having so many insights roll on in, I'm having so much stuff pop up for me that's really changing and expanding everything. I was also scrolling through some Facebook posts today, and one of my participants from the repatterning project that happened this summer was talking about how she normally gets kind of depression this time of year, and she was like, but you know what, I remembered that I can go out and exercise. And she was like, my doctor tells me to exercise sometimes, but I don't actually do it very often, because I felt depressed, but I decided to actually like get up and go to the gym, and oh my gosh, like I feel better. And I'm so happy about that, because some of what, so much of what we learn in the repatterning project is to pay attention to the actions that we take, the choices we make in our everyday lives, and how they make us feel. And I'm so proud of her for noticing that when she exercises, she actually does feel better as a result. And she, got up out of bed and said, I'm going to go and do something to change my state of mind and feel more empowered, I've been like, honestly, like I've been in kind of a funk myself the past several days and past couple weeks, really, just because like, I get seasonal affective disorder. It's like, it's like one of those things where it's just part of the sort of weather of this time of year for me. Although thankfully, now I look at it and I'm just like, oh yeah, that's this happening again. Like this will pass. It's fine, because solving your issues doesn't mean that like you never run into stormy weather, metaphorically speaking. It just means that you're better at steering your ship through it. You're like, oh, right, I remember what this is. It kind of sucks, but you know what? It's going to pass in a couple weeks. It'll be fine. And I remembered also, I was like, oh, I could take my qualia supplement today, because that always makes me, if I take the qualia mind supplement, it's like this really nice kind of like open-hearted space. It makes me feel really like, I don't know, really, really friendly and really open and really like much kinder and much more peaceful and settled. And I was like, oh, right, I can take my qualia supplement today. So anyway, I kind of got a little off topic. What I wanted to talk about specifically was the power of making that bold leap forward and setting that intention, and all the things that just start to happen kind of inexplicably. I can't explain how the woman who attended my retreat was offered a role in a film just days later after setting that intention to really tune into her purpose again. But I know that it happens. And so I'm going to share with you this quote. I made sure that I found the page in the book. This is a quote by the German poet Johann von Goethe, and this exactly describes the phenomenon that I'm talking about right now. So I'm going to close this video with this quote. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans, that the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material assistance which no man could have dreamed would come his way. And I don't know how to explain how that happens, but all I know is that Goethe says that it happens, and I have certainly seen evidence that it happens for myself, and now a lot of my participants are seeing evidence of that themselves as well. And it's like, I'm just getting out of the way. I'm like, this is not even me. Whatever it is, I'm just facilitating your ability to do this for yourself, and I'm handing you some really useful tools and giving you support on your journey. But ultimately, this is about you. This is about you making that commitment to yourself. I'm just here to help show you the way forward and make you feel safer and more confident about it, and help you troubleshoot your problems when they come up, and give you the tools that I learned for myself that helped me on my way forward. So whatever it is that you're looking to do, just know that the difference between where you are when you start and before you start, when you're stuck, when you're stymied, when you're like, things aren't going well and I don't know why, the difference that can happen really, really quickly is just astounding. It is just absolutely incredible. I've seen things move for people really, really quickly. So if you're thinking about it, make that bold leap. Do it, absolutely do it. And I've got a bunch of containers that are coming up. Specifically, we're starting the repatterning project again January 20th. That is my 8-week online course. You can read about that in the PDF box. I also have a workshop, a one-day workshop online for intention setting for the new year coming up on January 6th. I am co-facilitating that with Jamie Lee Finch and Aura North, who are two fabulous women that I admire and adore. So hop on over to my Facebook and check that out. Just look me up, Arden Lee, or look up the Repatterning Project on Facebook. And hopefully I'll see you there. All right. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.